Hello, and welcome to the fifth edition of Let's Talk About It with your girl, the DiDi DiDi Skky. Woo! Episode 5. And it's going to be live. But of course, I could not get the party started without my co-host, the voice of God, VOG. Give it up for my sidekick, Major.
Yo, what's up, DiDi?
What's up? How are you?
Oh, DiDi, I am phenomenal. I am both excited and a little bit nervous today.
What are you nervous for?
Well, today's guest is someone from a specific family, and I don't want to say anything that may have me end up with a horse head on my pillow,
in trouble,
or waking up sleeping with the fishes, or something like that. I want to be on my best behavior. Yeah.
You don't want none.
I don't want any.
What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
I don't want any, and I don't want none. You're all right.
Well, you know what? You know what? Our guest is a boss. Okay.
Yes.
And she has a lot to share with us. That may have been her past. She might not get into it like that anymore. So we're going to find out with our special guest. Tonesa Welch is here. The First Lady of BMF is in the house. So, oh my goodness. But before we get started with Tonesa, I have to see, I'm messing up her name. You're
going to sleep with the fishes. You're going to sleep with the fishes, DiDi.
She's going to let me have it. Tonesa, before we get into Tonesa, it's summertime and you have kids, right? Have you prepared for the summer for the kids?
I am preparing every day as we go along.
So you don't have any plans, really?
No, I got some plans. But I tell you, man, even when they get stuff, they still want more stuff. Mm-hmm. Like we took them swimming the other day.
Okay.
And then when we got home, they wanted to play video games. It's like, I took you swimming, man.
It's a never-ending story. That's right. You always have to.
There's rough.
One project after the next. And also, a very special weekend is coming up. It is going to be Father's Day on Sunday. Are you excited about that?
DiDi, I am somewhat excited. And I'm somewhat nervous.
About
I'm just a nervous Nelly. I tell you, what I'm nervous about is how we're going to get treated on Father's Day. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, we're going to talk about that after our exclusive interview. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into Father's Day and some of these Father's Day gifts. I found some very interesting ones on the internet. So we're going to talk about that right after our special guest. But tonight's show is brought to you by no other than Whisk by Gino.
Jeez.
Discover your new addiction with Whisk by Gino. Luxury makeup brushes by celebrity makeup artist Gino Freeman. This line of pristine makeup wands are tried and tested for a perfect blend. Engineered with a unique combination of natural and synthetic fibers to create an ultimate set of brushes that are soft to touch and durable for all application processes. The order includes a set of 10 brushes and a leather traveling case. To make a purchase, visit whiskbygeno.com. That's WHISKEDBYGENO.com. Add luxury to your makeup kit with Whisk by Gino.
Whisk by Gino. And I have my set of 10 right here. Of course, this set of luxury makeup brushes is what I use to apply my makeup today and always. So make sure you check out Whisk by Gino.
Oh, shout out Whisk by Gino.
That's right.
Your makeup is looking all right now. I got to tell you.
Definitely, am I
glowing? If you did that with those brushes, I'm telling you, we're going to sell a lot of those brushes.
That's right. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. They actually won their NBA championship. They defeated my Miami Heat. But congratulations to them because it was actually their first title in history.
Okay.
History. No NBA championship. This was their very first. So although I was rooting for the Miami Heat, I definitely am an underdog. I root for the underdogs. And so I was rooting for them as well. So congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on their win the other night. Woo. Oh my goodness. Are you ready or am I forgetting something? Because I'm getting
Well,
excited as well.
I'm excited too, but I'm
Uh-huh.
not so excited that I wouldn't want people to forget to like, share, and subscribe.
That's
Okay, because
right.
that's how they're gonna stay in tune with what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing.
That's right. Like, share, and subscribe right now. And if you are following us on Facebook, after the show, we don't want you to go over right now, but after the show, go over to our YouTube channel and check us out there as well. And if you're following us on Facebook, be sure to share this post with your friends and family because everybody wants to get in on this interview. This is going to be so good. And this show is for you guys. You know, I say it all the time that this platform, this tool and vehicle is an opportunity for our guests to engage with our, our featured guest. So we want you guys to join in, make any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you may have, you want to say, check us out. Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting my and I never really read bios from, or introductions from, from my script here, but I'm getting ready to do that now because I want to make sure that I say it all correctly. Now, whether you have watched Star's hit series BMF, if you're around Detroit, Atlanta, or Miami in the 80s or 90s and encountered the Black Mafia family, or you're just interested in hearing about the hustle game from a woman's perspective, this show is for you. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, in a modest family, our special guest realized at 18 years old that she wanted the fast life with all the glitz and glamour. She was, very aware of her surroundings, and she happened to see when she was a kid drug dealers and their wives and all of the cars and the clothes and the fashions that they demonstrated. And so she chose to follow suit. She dated a couple of hustlers, learned the game, and became her own boss. That's right, the boss. Known as the First Lady of BMF, please welcome to episode 5, Tonesa Welch.
Sheesh.
Tonesa, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm well.
Beautiful?
How are you, DiDi?
I am
I'm doing
wonderful.
well. How are you? Thanks
All
for that
is
amazing intro. But I'm gonna get your co-host.
go ahead and get them because we're scared
Thank you.
anyways.
Come on,
Go
man. I
and
haven't
get
even
him.
cut
Go
up.
and get him.
I haven't even cut up yet. Come on, Tonesa. I'm gonna be sleeping with the fishes, aren't I?
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah. Now you taking me back. So I'm gonna have to come out of my, come out of my old life and come back and get you. All this work I've been doing to
Go
change
major-
to be a better me. Here you
Trying
come.
to change. That's
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, remember earlier when I
hard
was
on
like,
this.
I'm gonna be sleeping with the fishes
yeah.
and find a
Right.
horse head? I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean any of
You
that.
said yeah.
you gotta
Okay, well
take
you better hop
all
on off the
that.
screen before
Yeah,
she sends those goons out your way.
Yeah.
You don't want none. So Tonesa, again, thank you so much
Yeah.
for taking time out of your busy schedule. As I was reading in your introduction, you were born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and you came from a pretty modest family. Your mom,
Mhm.
stepfather, 3 brothers. Tell us about your childhood and growing up in Detroit.
My childhood was pretty normal as I would think it was. I had both parents in the home, even though it was my stepdad. I still felt like that was my biological dad. I had 3 brothers. I mean, my parents were strict, but they both, middle class neighborhood. I didn't feel like I wanted for anything, just a normal kind of childhood, I would think, like we don't know about all that toxic and abuse and all that. I just was, I think, like a pretty normal, happy child, on the spoiled side. But other than that, just a happy middle class family. 3 brothers, and I ran them.
You ran the
That's
3
what my
brothers because you were the only
I
girl.
ran that. I heard, they tell me these stories all the time now, like, oh, you were running us, you were the boss, you were mean, like, no, none of that, but
So
yeah,
you were the
I think
boss
that's
as a
where it come from.
kid. So you already knew that you were getting
As
ready
a
to run some
kid,
things.
I didn't really realize that, then my uncle, like, how they use that term goat? My uncles
Uh-huh.
used to, one of my uncles named me goat. And I was like, well, why the goat? And they didn't know. They was saying, like, that's all, thinking of the term, what I think of it now, always leading, like the goat.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a young child growing up, I didn't follow. I never knew how to be a follower, always
That's
leading the
right.
path.
Always leading the
Yeah.
pack. Now tell me about when I
Hmm.
was introducing you and I had read your bio. It said that you saw the image of drug dealers and their wives within the community. Um, how did the expensive cars, the jewelry, and all of that kind of overshadow the life that your family exemplified? Because you said you came from, of course, a modest family, but you also saw the glitz and glamour, and that was attractive to you.
Yeah, I noticed in the bio it said 18, but I was probably around, I know I was 19 going into my 20s. I went to a
Mm-hmm.
party and it wasn't in my neighborhood. I grew
Mm,
up on the west side and this party was on the east side.
okay.
I always wanted, I don't know. Like growing up, I didn't really go to parties, really didn't hang out, had that one high school boyfriend, growing up. And then when I went to this party on the east side, it was a whole different world. I started hanging out with my older brother girlfriends, and they were
Mm,
all going out. And, they kind of took me under their wing, like, hey, come start hanging out with us. And then I went on the
mm-hmm.
east side, went to this party, and it was like, honey, when I went in there, it was like, how they say on the exorcist, your head swung around. It was like my head
Ooh,
was on a swivel, like, oh my God,
wow.
this is
What did
what
you
I
see?
want.
What was it like? What did you
It
see
was
at this
just, it
party?
was it's something like off of television. You were a young girl, you like I said, growing up in middle class, didn't see all that stuff. And then I go over there, they got, you see what you call like I'm just knowing about the factory workers or, the other
Mhm.
people. I go over here. It was a whole hustle thing. You seen the, I don't know,
Right.
the drug dealers, the pimps, the hoes, the glamorous women, the whole stuff, the whole party just looked glamorous to me.
Right.
And I end up seeing the life that I wanted, probably something that I always probably pictured when you watching on television where there was a Superfly or there was Foxy
Mhm.
Brown, all that kind of stuff. So when
Right.
I did go to this party, it was, it fascinated me. And then I met a guy from the east side and kind of turned me out from there, and that was the world I wanted. My mother said when he bought you that first coat, I knew you were gone then. It's like,
Ooh, what kind of coat did
you
you buy?
bought
'Cause
me.
you're in Detroit,
It
so
was
what kind of
then.
coat was it?
And then you were either wearing fur coats or a John Knight coat. It was this
Okay.
John Knight coat. And I
Mhm.
think like in the first 2 weeks, the first week we went out, he bought me a coat. He was this drug dealer. He was young. I immediately was attracted to him when I walked, when I first seen him, he was attracted to me. We kind of locked into each other immediately.
Mm.
And on the first couple of dates, I guess he said, "You ain't fly enough. Let me get you fly."
Oh,
You know,
okay.
even though my mom, every week I would shop with my mom. My
Mhm.
mom didn't spare no expenses. She would always, always had the newest clothes, the newest outfits, still in my mind, the little designer stuff. But it wasn't until
Mhm.
I went over there that my game stopped, stepped up a little bit.
That the
He
game
stepped my
stepped
game
up.
up.
That's
Yeah,
oh
he
my
stepped that
okay.
game
He
up
stepped the game up.
immediately. And it was, yeah, they started to coast the little trinklets, and I was all in.
So
And
then
so it started from
the
there.
jewelry and everything followed
Yeah.
after the coat. It was
Mm-hmm.
the
Started
finer
buying me
things
little,
of life.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Shouts
that's what
out
kind of
to
happened. And then I start, go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna give a quick shout out to our viewers. Big D, he said he's in the house. Donna, shouts out to Donna, and also Levi is here. Loretta, You guys send in your questions. That's what
Okay.
Tonesa is here for. She's ready for the questions. So, but what were you gonna say? I don't want to interrupt you. I want you to give me all the tea.
Honey, you gotta let me flow when I'm flowing, because I be forgetting.
I
I'm
understand.
sorry, I forgot already. Let me
I
just
understand.
flow.
Oh, trust me, you
Yeah,
will
but
you'll pick up and remember, because I have some good questions for you. And one question that I have, you stated that you dated hustlers. What gave you the idea that you could actually run your business when you saw what they were doing, or that you could actually be your own boss after getting in with the guys that you dated or learning the industry?
I just just the determination of it. Just, like, I thought I could do it better. Growing up with my brothers, I was always leading them. Like, I was like
Mhm.
always thought, like, that man mentality, that strength, I always kind of had that. So I just said, hey, I can do this. I can do it better. And I wanted to. I just thought I had that kind of mind that I don't know if it's I don't know, because when I think back about when I think on, I was like, what gave me the courage to want to be able to do things like that? Because it takes a
Mm.
lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength to want to be in the streets and sell drugs and run with the guys. And, I don't know where it came from. Something that probably that I grew up with, how I grew up. Just the strength of me,
Mhm.
probably a strong mother and a strong father. I'm not for sure where it came from. How did I get? Me and my brother was talking about it. He was, not
Mhm.
too long, about a month ago. He said, "You had more strength. I mean, more street in you than all of us." Where did it? We knew they knew that early on, but I
Mm.
don't know where it came from. I just don't know, because, like I said, it takes a lot of courage to be in the street. You know, it
Very
does.
much so. The courage, because I'm sure you
Hmm.
saw also the downside of the street life, death, prison, things that were
Hmm.
around you as well. So I mean,
Hmm.
you had to stand in your strength, in your courage, fortitude to be able to, see your surroundings
Hmm.
and still know that you can actually move the way you did.
Right, just not really scared of anything at that
Mm.
time. I was seeing some things that I wouldn't want any young person now to go through that. I think about it, look back on it, still some things in my vault that I call it my vault inside of me, that
In
I
your
can't
brain.
even talk about. Some things, some days
Mm.
I, do that, and like, dang,
Mhm.
how did I get through it? What made me um want to be in that life, and like I said, now I don't wish that on anyone, because it takes a tough person. And at the
Mhm.
time, I guess I knew I was tough, but didn't realize, not walking around like this, just felt that, like I said, that confidence, felt secure enough, felt like, I felt like a boss. I always felt like that.
Mm.
Always
Mm.
felt like I command the room. I'm that person.
Do you think that as a woman, you had to show more of your strength and courage to deal with men? Because, of course, it's a very
Yeah,
male dominated industry
yeah,
to be in. And so
yeah.
you're neck and neck and you're shoulder to shoulder with, guys in the street who really have no care for a woman in terms of if they have to get business done.
Hmm.
So
Right.
explain that.
I was always very, and I don't know, very well respected, but it was a
Mm.
toughness that I had to walk around and carry, because in that life, people will run over you, and if you show a sign of weakness, there it is, you know.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's always like you can't show fear. You always got to be tough. And I'm always a little person. I'm a small person, stature person, and I don't know where it came from. But yeah, you always had to feel like, if, like I always say, just because you see me by myself, I'm not by myself. A lot of people
Ooh.
knew that. Like, she always got somebody watching her from wherever she's
Uh-huh.
at, you know? So
Ooh.
that's the kind of mentality is. That's just like it is now. It's always, people always making sure that I'm good. You good? I
Mm-hmm.
heard you here. You here? You're good. But at that time, it was always somebody very close around, so I always felt secure. I didn't have to.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. You do in a man's world. That's definitely a man's world. So you
Mm-hmm.
definitely have to carry yourself a different way. Very tough. I was just
Yes.
somebody was saying, "Oh, you were very shrewd. You were this and that, and not that you mean to be. It's the way you
You
have
have
to
to
be.
be.
In business and everything, you have to be because
Right.
if you don't, you will get ran over. As soon as you show
Mm-hmm.
softness, like now, people think like, "Oh, she's getting soft." No, I'm not. Don't play with me, but it is.
Don't play with
It's the
it.
way you have to carry yourself. Don't
That's
play with
right.
me. Yeah.
Do you feel as though
Hmm.
that lifestyle was it an alter ego for you? Were you able to be a softer side of you in your relationships or around your family, but then when you had to step out on the street and do what you needed to do, you were a different person? Do you feel like you maybe was an alter ego, or were you
It
the
probably
same
was
at
an
home
alter
too?
ego, but I care. They said I was the same at home, but it wasn't really until, like, I think until I went to prison that I realized that, I didn't want to be that person anymore. I wanted to relax and be,
Mm.
like when people are saying you were mean, you were tough. I didn't realize it, but people don't understand the burdens and the things you're carrying when you're in the street. You don't mean to bring it into your home. You don't mean to carry it on with your children or your family, but it's this persona, this person you became,
Mhm.
because of how I had to carry myself in the street. Always, always on guard for something, and then you have to be on guard in your home because you're in the street. That street stuff can come into your home. It's
Mhm.
always, you always got to be looking around. So I think it wasn't until I went to prison that I was able to relax. I felt like I had, this double personality or something. Like I just wanted to let all that go. I wanted people to start seeing a softer side of me. I don't want everybody to think, oh, you're so strong or you this. I got a lot of things that I need to release and I need shoulders that I can lean on. I'm not always that tough person. I don't want to seem like that tough person no more, that I'm out to get you. I want to seem soft. I want to give people hugs. I want to be able to smile. That
Mhm.
is my past, and I know it sticks with me, but this is who I'm becoming now,
Right.
let all that go. Let all that past go. Even though I was tough, I wasn't out there killing people or, or doing all that kind of stuff. I would give some people so many chances and, do, um, just you still had to be tough, but in the home be tough too. Because I was raising boys also. I didn't raise
Right.
daughters. I
Mm.
was raised with three boys. I mean, three brothers. Then I had my three sons and two nephews. So I was in a household with five boys. They had to be growing up.
Mhm.
So I couldn't show a softer side, and I didn't know that. I they couldn't cry or I couldn't cry. I didn't know that was something to don't cry. That I carried
Right.
on for years. And once I went to prison, my counselor said, you don't have to always be so tough,
Mm.
release. And one day he told me, you need to release whatever, all that toughness or whatever you carrying, all that load, and you don't realize you're carrying all that stuff. And,
On you.
one day I went on the
Mhm.
yard and and I really cried and let a lot, let a lot of that stuff go. And
Mhm.
now it's so easy for me to cry and ask for help now, like, hey, I don't want to always be that person. Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
So yeah.
Rachel Lewis says, I love that point. No one wants to be tough all the time. And so,
Mm-mm.
that's absolutely correct. It's absolutely true. Everyone wants to be able to
Hmm.
have
Yeah.
the transition in their life where they see that growth. And you saw that when you went away.
Yeah. When I went
Mhm.
away, and I had to go away. If I would have never go away, I probably would have been walking around some mean old lady being tough. And I don't want to live like that. I want to be able to be happy and be smiling.
Mm.
Just show that I'm kind and soft, and I can be happy, and I want happiness for other people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I
Yeah.
want to live my life the rest of my life.
That's right. Let's go back a little bit, Tonesa, as well. How did you meet Southwest T and decide to connect him with your plug, with your connection?
I met Southwest T. I was married, like I told you about the guy that I met at the party. He
Mm-hmm.
became my husband, and like we were together, like we worked together. He was my client, I was his Bonnie, or however you want to say it. And he actually introduced me to Southwest T. Southwest
Mm-hmm.
T was working under Southwest Tea and Big Meech came under my ex-husband.
Mm.
So he was supplying them at the time. They were the 50 boys, something like that. And he brought them on, like as our organization was growing, me and my ex-husband, he brought them. We need more people, we need younger people, we need, so he introduced me to Southwest Tea,
Okay.
and Demetrius' brother.
Uh-oh. Oh, I think we lost her. I think we might have lost
Uh,
her.
yeah, looks like we lost her. Let's
She'll
see
come
if
back.
she'll come.
I hope she comes back. Oh, it was getting good.
Yeah,
You
that was getting good now.
It was getting really, really good. You don't think
Oh,
this isn't a conspiracy or anything happening?
if I do think so,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
going
keep
to.
my mouth shut. I'm gonna shut my ass up. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Well, I know that she is on the West Coast, and so her internet might be off a little bit. So fingers
Yeah.
crossed that she will be able to join back in with us. But you guys continue to send in your comments, your questions, whatever you have to say. It was getting deep. Yes, it was, Stephanie. It was getting a little deep. I was a little nervous. Just just being around this company, but she has such an amazing story to tell. Sisters Emotion says too much juice, too much juice. But I think she's gonna join back in because she has such a story of redemption to tell, and there she is. I told you she was gonna come back.
Okay, yeah.
Let's give her a minute to come in. She's here in the green room, so we'll give her a minute. I know that, like I said, she's in an area that doesn't have really, really good Wi-Fi. So
Yes.
we'll give her some
Sisters
time.
in Motion. Turn up.
Yes, she
So
says,
Meech turned
"Me
off the
off her."
internet. They crazy. These folks
Listen,
crazy.
don't they? It's not fair that they get to see my face and they don't see yours.
Hey.
But no, I am again, I'm just honored that she's here with us and she's telling her story. Kelly is laughing. So she's here. Is there a way to
Let's see if we can get her back
let her
in.
know that we are here? We see you. Hello. It says you're coming back. Let's see. You have nothing to worry about. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. I think she's trying to come back in.
Hey, I'm gonna get let's see. She's trying. I see her trying.
Yes. I'm not sure if she can hear us. Let's see. Uh-oh. Now it keeps coming back, but it's not. Okay. Because we can see it. Guys, you can't see it on your end. We can actually see her popping back in. But we're just trying to see how to get her connected back in. Again, shouts out to Levi, Kelly, Stephanie is here with us, Rachel, Donna. We're so happy and glad that you guys are joining in with us tonight. We have our special guest is Tonesa Welch. She is the First Lady of BMF, and she's here with us. She was giving us all the scoop.
Yeah, we were getting all that scoop, wasn't we?
She keeps getting disconnected for some reason. Now she's popping back up. Do you see? Is there anything that you can do, Major?
I don't think so. It looks like it might be her connection. I'm trying to add her here.
Okay, and we have no way to see if. So let's see. Give me just a second, Major. Talk to you folks. Give me a second. Let me try to see if I can get her connected back in with us.
Oh yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
All right.
All right, guys. So listen up. She's left me or left you all in terrible hands. I want you guys to be aware. Oh, there she is. There she is.
See you, but I couldn't see DiDi.
Oh
all right.
man, you have
here.
saved the internet because I was getting ready to go ham.
We didn't want him to
get
get
start
started.
talking crazy.
What happened? Because I could see, I just couldn't see. I
You
could hear the
couldn't see
music
me?
too.
Okay.
I couldn't see you.
I'm so glad you are back. I'm so glad you're back with us.
It's the screen. We are a little off again. Hold on.
Oh no, you're fine. You are fine. Can you hear us clearly?
I'm fine. I can hear you well. Really good.
Okay. So you were actually telling us a little bit about your connection with Southwest Tea and how that connection started.
Yeah.
That relationship started.
So I met him through my ex-husband. My ex-husband had got caught up and he ended up going to prison. And so the thing was that I want to make that clear because people are like, oh, her husband made her do it. No, I wanted to do it. That was the greed that comes with the life. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That was the greed that come with the life. I didn't want it to stop. And it was so easy for me at the time. I ended up finding another connection. He left T in charge to watch my back. And we became friends in that connection. It didn't happen right away, but at the time when people start working together and being around each other. So it was a few years later, we end up starting a relationship.
Okay.
Terry, him and me, I couldn't understand, hey, what's going on? They didn't, Terry didn't have any money. And it's, the street life goes up and down all the time. But I couldn't understand because the guy came with, the flow never had stopped. So I'm like, well, what's going on? And I'm hearing him talk to his mother. And he's have, bill money and stuff like this. But I'm like, you're around me. You're my friend. I have all this money. I got this connection. And let me help you. I want to help you. You're my friend. If you're my friend, it's just like now, if I have something going and my friend is down on their feet, I want to help that person, no matter, it might not have been the right way to help them, as I look at it now, but to me, it was a business then. It's still a business. I was running a business. And so I said, hey, let me help you guys. Let me help you and your brother get on your feet. I got to connect and I want to make sure you're good. You're around me. You got to be good. And that's how it happened.
So let me ask, in the Stars series BMF, Lala Anthony is introduced in the show now, and she was introduced through connecting with T. Is she loosely based? Is her character loosely based on you or no? Because that's been kind of like the question out there. Is this about you or no?
It's of course you have a lot of fictional parts in that story, but a lot of it is based on me. It's no denying that I was in an abusive relationship. I was the person that T was dating for years. Like I'm one of the only women that out of all the girlfriends, when you got Demetrius' girlfriend, all the other girlfriends, I'm one of the ones that went to prison, So, who else was he dating? He was dating me back from the late 90s all the way into 2005. We were living in a house together.
Mm-hmm.
And as she clearly says it on one of her interviews, that she plays a longtime girlfriend of Southwest Teas, that they were together before he went to prison. And once they came home from prison, we reunited. We're not together anymore, but we did have our short span of once he came home, we were together for a short time. So yeah, they talk about the car company, about that being him and his dad's. That was actually, me and my dad's. I don't like that they took that away from my dad, because
Uh-huh.
my dad, once he retired, he was very proud of starting a successful car company. That was something that he, wanted to do all his life. Once he retired, he wanted to start his own company, car company, and he did. So a lot of those
Mm.
things that are mentioned in that television show, yeah, it's a part of my life, and that's a part of history that they can't take away, because I am an intricate part of that story, but
Right.
I'm not in the story. It's not.
Which is why
I'm not in the
your story
story.
is being created, which is why your story is
Yeah, no,
being
it was
told.
so yeah,
Mhm.
and that's the way God works, right? Because at first I was very hurt about it. I can't deny that, because you figure out that, hey, I was an intricate part of this story, and you have so
Mhm.
many people that's involved in this story that didn't have to go through what I went through, didn't have to, you know, um, do the things that I did. I had to go to
Mhm.
prison. My son had to go to prison. My three nephews went to prison. My younger two children suffered. And I
Right.
just didn't understand that why, what was it about me that y'all didn't want me involved in it? Um, and then you use parts of my story. But
Parts
what
of your
happened was,
story.
yeah, yeah, a lot of my story. But what happened is, you don't even know. I didn't even realize why I'm sitting there hurt and forcing it. Like, hey, well, no, it's why am I forcing it? The day I released it, I said, I'm gonna release this. This is not my story. This is their story.
Mhm.
They could tell their story the way they want to tell their story. I got a call, I mean, it was like God had said, I told you so. I told you.
Wow.
And there was a couple of days after, I remember it was early in the morning. I was still in bed. Got up, and I guess because of the East Coast, West Coast times, I got up, I
Mhm.
answered the phone. They was like, Tonesa. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
hey,
Uh-huh.
we want to talk to you about, what about you doing your own bio? Like, me? Like, yeah. Like, hey, can you come can we set up a meeting for you to talk to the BT execs and doing your own bio? And that was the moment for me that I realized that you have to let God be in control of your life.
Mm.
Even though I knew it, I know God and all of this. I've been, I follow His path, but sometimes we get a little sidetracked and we don't want to listen to Him. And
Mhm.
one day I just said, I got something for you. I've been
That's
waiting on you to release that,
Mhm.
waiting on you to release it, and this is what I have for you. So it is. It's a really. um, Sometimes I think about it, I'll be like, because when you think about people
It's
doing their
real.
bios, and
Mhm.
it's surreal, and it's not like I'm here to tell it.
Right.
My family is here to watch it.
Mhm.
Not my parents, but my sons, my granddaughters. Um, my extended family, my close friends, I'm here to sit and watch it with them. So it's a very special, amazing moment. I just thank everybody that felt that they wanted to be, that the people who got around me and said, we want to do your story. We want to be your
Right.
voice. We want to tell your story. Yeah.
Mhm. Speaking of that, when the biopic was announced, I'm sure you saw 50 Cent's, who is the producer. For those of you who are not familiar with BMF, 50 Cent is the producer of BMF, the series that's on Stars. He made a statement when
Hmm.
your biopic was announced that this should say the First Lady of 263, not BMF. What were your
I don't,
thoughts on that?
My thoughts was nothing. I don't care if they flip the words, flip it upside down, flip it backwards. I went to prison and indicted under the BMF indictment. And when I
Right.
stood in front of that judge and took that sentence, people should have said then, hey, she's not a part of any of this. And I would have received that. I would say, thank you, judge, that they stood up here and did this, because I want to be at home. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to prison. I want to be at home with
Right.
my children. But not saying that I didn't do anything wrong, that I shouldn't be there. But for all the people who are shouting that, it was a moment and a time that they could have stood in front of the judge and said, hey, she's not a part of this. So I don't care if they called it 1, 2, 3. I should be called 1, 2, 3, 2, 6, 3, 5, 6, 7. DMF was an indictment that I was under, and give me my title, because anybody could have had it. Their mama, their sister, their brother, anybody else could have had it but me. But it was given to me. I was the first woman indicted, and like I said, out of all those girlfriends and friends and families and sisters, they got to stay home. All those guys, girlfriends and children, they had their mothers at home. My children lost mine. And I don't want people to say like I'm crying about it or anything, because I understand now what I was doing to my community, what I was doing to other families. I had to feel that, and I feel it. And I always say that, I'm sorry for my past behaviors. I didn't know any better. I thought that, that was the life, but not when I had to go to prison and leave my own family and realize what I was doing in life. I was tearing down my community, my family.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Comments to themselves. And I'm not, I think 50 was joking. It was all in jokes and fun. I laughed about it. But I'll say, okay, because I really don't think about it. I don't care they saying I should be anything other than that. Because it was not one person that I know that would have stood up and would have took the time and did the things that I did. Not one person. If y'all wanted that title, it could have been 263, anything. Not one person would have walked in my footsteps into that prison cell and did that time. I don't know nobody that would have changed, reverse roles, but my mother.
Right.
My mother did, and rest in peace, Mom. And she actually asked the judge, could she take my time?
Oh, wow.
And that's the only person I know that would have did that for me. Nobody else. So there it is.
Kelly says that 50 tries to bully people. Yeah.
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
1 minute. Let me see. Were you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Something happened to my sound now.
Okay. Can you hear us now? You can't hear us now?
I can't hear.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
The sound is gone.
Uh-oh. The sound is gone. Can you hear us now? No?
It's not me. The sound is gone.
The sound, you have us in your earbud?
I'm going to go out and come back in.
Okay. She's going to go out and come back in. So, woo! This is getting so good. Stephanie says a mother's love, and that's so true. Who would stand in the gap for you when you make a decision and have to live with the consequences? A mother's love, so her mother, she says, asked the judge if she could take her time, and that's definitely a mother. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, but it's real mumbly.
It's
on
a
your
little
end.
jumbled. Okay.
I can hear you, but it's like I'm in a tunnel.
Oh, it feels like it's Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. I know it's a little muffled. Can you hear me? Okay.
Say it again.
Can you hear me? Okay now. It may be.
Hold on. Let me do something. Go out.
It may be in the settings, because you put the earbuds in. It may be asking for you to notify the system that you have the earbuds in. That's possibly what it is. But I'm not technically savvy at all. So Major, you would need to help us with that because I can't tell you
Yeah,
what
I
it
think
is.
that's what it is.
Yes. Oh my goodness. What a redemption story. Hello. Hello. Tonesa, can you hear us now?
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
It's underwater.
It sounds like it's underwater.
Leave it open. I'm a.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. She said it sounds like she's underwater. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think the
that's with the
AirPods weren't
system.
charged.
And once you put in one device, you have one listening device. If you have the earbuds in, you have to kind of rock it out with that.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be hard to kind of change up in between.
It's not
So that's
that. It's
probably.
something on your end. I can't hear. It's something on your end.
Can you hear us now?
It's underwater. It's underwater.
Oh
I
no.
can hear it, but it's underwater.
Okay. Now she's on her phone. Okay. You did hear that it's probably delayed. Since she's on her phone, Major, is there an area in the phone where she can put it on maybe speaker? Do you still have on your earbuds? Your ear pod? Yes. Major.
Yeah.
Is there an area on her phone device that maybe she can put it on speaker? Because I think
I'm thinking maybe she can turn off the
that.
Bluetooth and try that. If she was no.
Tell him to go off.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. Guests out there, can you guys send us a yoo-hoo, a hoo-hoo, hooty-hoo to let us know if you can hear us clearly? Let us know. We're having some technical difficulties tonight. But we thank you guys for joining in with us. Of course, again, just to give you a recap, we have our special guest. Thank you, Stephanie, for letting us know that you can hear us. That's them alphabet. Derek says those are those alphabet boys messing with the internet. Okay. Yeah, and they are not the ones to be playing with. Okay. Can you hear us now? Yay! You can't stop us. Don't try to stop us, Satan. We're gonna get
this is determined podcast, right? How's the vision?
That's right.
Can you see me? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about your biopic. How did you connect with Vivica Fox and Judge Mathis, who I have a low-key crush on? I've always loved Judge Mathis.
Well, I just met Vivica when they were putting the biopic together.
Okay.
And Judge Mathis, I have been knowing for years. So I guess he was probably the chief part of this whole thing. He's part of BET. That I guess him and his team said that they wanted to do it. They brought it to me. That's how they became producers. I worked with Judge Mathis before on Trap Queens. So I guess from there he was like, hey, we need to do this story. And so the team called me, and it's history from there. It was Judge Mathis. They put that incredible team together. They did Vivica Fox, Tressa Smallwood from Mega Minds. Her production team was the bomb. I mean, the whole production was the bomb. When I tell you, everybody was so professional. Everybody was very, they treated me with the white gloves. They knew this story was a very personal story. So they made sure that I was good. The whole team, like everybody that was picked to be in the cast, they select everybody You know, they took their time and they wanted certain people. They wanted everybody to match. They wanted the whole cast to, you know, the vibe. They wanted the same type of energy. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. I had a
Mhm.
lot of anxiety. And
Yes, I can
everybody was
imagine.
so kind and nice to me. So I love it. I love Vivica. I mean, that was my first time. You know how you see people on TV all the time, and you just never
Mhm.
think that they're the type of person. I mean, we create in our heads as a person, but she's a Leo, so we kind of got the
You mesh
same
together.
type of energy. Yeah, she's
Uh-huh.
a boss and she's a lot of fun. So yeah.
Yes.
And like in Judge Mathis, I met him through my younger son when I was incarcerated. Him and his family, you know, kind of took put their wings around my two younger
Oh,
boys who were left at home.
that's beautiful. Who's playing you? Tell us about, did you have a chance to connect with the young lady who is playing you and spend some time? Did she embody
They
Tonesa Welch?
they it was so many.
Mm-mm. Uh-oh. No. Oh my goodness. She's frozen up again. She froze up.
Yeah, it's gonna be one for the books.
This is going to definitely be one for the books. Because I'm like Derek. Derek said the alphabet boys are stopping us from this interview.
Yeah, I'm nervous because like how much truth is there to that?
Listen, Tanisa, if you can hear us, make sure that your internet, that you're actually logged into the location that you're in, their internet. So maybe it's the internet that's going in. Can you hear us now? It's back out again. This is too funny. Shouts out to Monique. Monique, I see you in the house, girl. Oh no, so she can't hear us now. 50 done hacked just Kelly said 50 has hacked my site. Oh my goodness. Hello. We can't hear you. Nope. Oh my goodness. Testing one, two. We are having a severe show hack tonight. Oh my goodness. It's possibly again, I'm not sure if it is the um internet. I'm not sure. It may be the internet connection um for her. But her show, her biopic, Tonesa Welch's biopic, will air on BET Plus. Her and I did have a chance to speak a little bit earlier before the interview started, and she said that they are still in post production for the show, for the movie. So they are going along. It's going to be a really, really amazing story about her life, about her trajectory, and about her redemption. Um, she's okay. So here we go. So yes, the Tonesa Welch story is, I'm sure, going to be one that we all would want to watch. So now let me ask you, Major, do you have you seen BMF on Stars?
I've seen a few of the clips. Yeah, I've seen a few of the clips. I think I'm gonna start watching it now though because I'm intrigued.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you, are we able to hear her?
Just a little bit. Okay.
Now I hear,
I can hear you a little bit.
see her.
It's going in and out. You're frozen.
Okay, I hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear us now?
Let me try something.
I check and
Let me
see
try
if
some. I'm
maybe
sorry,
you're
guys.
no problem. No problem. We're grateful for you being here. So no problem at all. Just maybe check and see,
I'm
make sure
trying
that
everything.
your internet connection may be with the location that you're in.
Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so we got that part. What's your next question?
Okay. Oh, you were telling us about the biopic. And when is it going to be ready to air on BET Plus? Correct? Is that where
Yes,
it's going to?
BET Plus, the first week in
Mhm.
October.
Yes.
Don't have an actual air date, but we just know it's the first week in October.
Okay, awesome. And we were talking about the young lady who's playing you. Did you have a chance to really give her all of your? Oh, we lost her again. Oh my goodness, we lost her again.
Yeah, this has been one heck of a game of cat and mouse.
Oh, I really hate that. But we were talking about you watching BMF.
BMF. Yeah, I don't have stars though, but because these companies, man, they want too much for subscription.
Yeah.
I feel like we used to have cable, and then we thought that was expensive.
Uh-huh.
And then streaming came out, and then everybody like split up, and now everybody want their own piece of the pie.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like if you got a few of these streaming services, now you're paying more than you ever paid for cable.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely so. And I am just so, my heart is just filled at the fact that she is doing her very best to try to connect with us. Um, and again, you guys, thank you for hanging in here with us. This interview is one that I am just so glad and grateful for the opportunity to even be able to have her take time out of her schedule to be here with us. So, I am, I'm just really, really pleased and honored at the fact that she was here, with us and able to share her story. Um, you know, I, it's so much with the when you hear about someone's past and you hear people who beat down people for their past and know that they have been redeemed. We all have been in positions or in a part of our life that has not been, that we're not proud of, right? And so
Right.
I'm just I'm just again so grateful for her coming on to Let's Talk About It and sharing her story with us, the good, the bad, the challenges, the tragedies. And then, of course, here she is now. She has so much to share now with her biopic. So many young girls are looking to her story. They see the glitz and the glamour, and that's the lifestyle that they think is going to be beneficial to them, and it may be for a moment, and then it all goes away at some point, because what goes up always comes back down. And so the fact that she has been able um, to build her life after her time in prison. She's been able to form a nonprofit. She's helping out her community and doing some really great things in the community for, food insecurities. Of course, being able to provide shelter and things like that for homelessness. And I mean, she's really diving in to her community and giving back. And so we have to laud and applaud her for that and for sharing her story, because this is the other key about this. We do a lot of things and then, we go into the darkness. We don't want anybody, we have our bad experiences or things that we aren't proud of, but some of us have been able to hide those things, right, in the dark. And so the fact that she is coming out in the light and sharing her story and wanting to tell her story, again, is just to be commended.
I commend her just for the fact that she's tried so many times to come back in and out. I know y'all can't see this
Right.
from my end. I just see her popping in and then it'll pop her back out, and she's popping
Right.
back in, and
It's
I see it
popping
cut
back
out,
out.
and I see it pop back
Hmm.
in. I applaud that. I
Yes.
applaud that.
Yes, yes, yes. Loretta says it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. And that's very true. That's very true. It's not how you start, but it's certainly how you finish. And I know that she's also producing several other projects as well. So we should be seeing a lot from her. And you know what? I'm going to try to reschedule her again because I think that she has so much to share with us. And I want to be able to hear from her everything that she wants to provide to
Yeah,
us,
because it
you
was
know.
so
So,
much that I'm sure you didn't get to.
oh yes, I definitely had a lot more questions for her, but I definitely want to. I'm going to try my best to get her rescheduled again, and hopefully be able to have her as a guest again on our show. I was telling you before, Major, that I actually had an experience with BMF, with the Black Mafia family. That is correct. I did. I was a personality in Miami. This is not a, what is our show called? Two Truths and a Tale. This is not that. This is
Okay,
a
so
real,
this
a
is the
true story.
real, this is the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth. So I was radio personality, and I had a television show in Miami, and had the opportunity to meet Big Meech during Memorial Day weekend in Miami, of course, off the chain. And as a personality, at 99 Jams in Miami, we would hear a lot. We had a lot of new music coming in, and it was from, this new label from BMF, and just hearing them a lot, hearing about some of the things that they were doing at the clubs. They were making it rain at the clubs, having helicopters flying over spots, and having money. This is not a tale. This is true. Having helicopters flying out over clubs and throwing money out of the helicopters, like they were off the chain. Okay, and so we were hearing a lot about them. Nonetheless, Memorial Day weekend, we get a call. My manager, shouts out to my sister Donna, who was my manager at the time. We're told to come to Jackie Gleason's house on Miami Beach. And of course, at that time, Airbnbs weren't around. These are the 90s. So we weren't really doing Airbnbs, and you really weren't renting out Jackie Gleason's house in Miami, Miami Beach. And so we go to Miami Beach, go to Jackie Gleason's spot, and there are all of these expensive cars and a whole bunch of black guys, right? And so we're like, what are all these black guys doing at Jackie Gleason's house? And so one of the guys comes out and he introduces himself to me, tells me, you need to go in and meet the boss because, you're the personality here in Miami, and he's doing some entertainment stuff. He wants to start a entertainment television show and a magazine. So I go in, I'm hearing all about this Big Meech. So I'm anticipating someone the size of Shaq. Well, Big Meech comes out, and he's not Shaq's size. He's actually shorter. So that kind of threw me off. But he actually ended up being a cool guy. We connected. We talked. My manager connected with his people. Donna connected with his folks. But it never panned out. It never panned out. And of course, when hindsight 2020, they ended up money with his face. Oh, yes, he had money with his face on it. So yeah, it never panned out. However, again, hindsight 2020, it turned out to be the BMF. And Donna is sisters in motion, and she said, "Thank God." So yeah, we never ended up doing business together. And so when I see these documentaries, there are a lot of pieces, the documentaries of BMF. So if you get a chance, check out the documentaries because it really highlights the history and the trajectory of BMF and the organization. But again, like I said, I didn't have a chance to actually partner with them. Thank God, because what'd you say, Major? I may have been
You're gonna be the second lady of BMF,
second lady of BMF.
something like that. Yeah, that's
Thank God. So who knew that it would have turned out this way? But hey, Major. So what are you going to do for this weekend? You have Father's Day coming up. What are your plans? Anything
um.
special? Are you asking for anything special?
Am I asking for anything special? Well, Didi, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here, and I don't want any of the ladies watching to get upset. Don't cancel me, because
You're gonna get
I'm
kicked.
yeah. Don't cancel me. But this is what I would like. I'll be straightforward, man, and it's not necessarily something that my kids need to do for me.
Okay.
But check this out. Here, every year for Mother's Day, everybody goes crazy for mom, right? I
Mhm.
see the restaurants are packed. I
Right.
mean, the jewelry stores are packed. The card aisle at the CVS is packed and no more cards. And then Father's Day rolls around, and all we ask for usually is just a little peace and relaxation and quiet, right? And
Okay.
not to be bombarded by this type of thing. Happy Father's Day, mom. Okay, so I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I don't care.
Happy
This year
Father's.
for This year, yeah, this year for Father's
Sometimes the
Day,
best
all I
dads are
want,
called mom. Okay.
I just want to let the fathers be fathers and enjoy our day one time. One
Mm-hmm.
time. If I could just get that going on
Happy.
one time. Happy Father's Day to the single mamas putting in double. All right. I know there's some single moms out here, man. Ain't
Uh-huh.
nobody hating on that. But come on, man. Let me have our day. Let us have our day. This one right here, Happy Father's Day, mom. You
You
have
have
bigger
bigger balls
balls.
than any man I know.
Like,
Oh,
come on,
okay.
man. Come on, man.
Well, and I again laud and applaud the single mothers, but to your point, you're saying allow fathers and particularly fathers who have been really good fathers, and even if they haven't been really good fathers but they're still around, you want fathers to still have their Father's Day, because you don't
Yeah.
see the vice versa, is what you're saying. You don't see Mother's
Oh,
Day, Happy Mother's Day, mom, you have the biggest.
Happy Mother's Day, Dad. Happy Mother's Day, Dad. Yeah, see, even the celebrities are getting in on it. How single
uh
mothers feel when you tell them Happy
Happy.
Father's Day. So, Didi, did you have any little Didi Skies running around?
I don't have any little DiDi Skies running around, so
Do you
I
think if you
I
did
have
and you were
a bunch
single?
of nieces and nephews and god kids, so I
Oh,
just get that
okay.
love from there.
So, in the comments, ladies, what do y'all think about this? Do
Single
y'all think
moms
that's
be like,
normal?
Happy Father's Day to me. That's
What do y'all single mothers think? Do y'all think it's cool to do this, or do y'all think like maybe not? Maybe not so much this year
okay.
when
Let me
people
read
use
this.
Father's
What does it
Day
say when
as a
people
day
use
to
Father's Day as a day to thank single mothers?
yeah. See,
Geesh.
Robert
That's
Downey
a
ain't
little
happy about
deep.
it.
Yeah, Robert
It's
Downey
Father's
Jr.
Day.
says, geez.
Not single Mother's Day. It is not your day. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it when I tell you,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna tell you why. I guess some women are so upset because some of y'all don't have the support from the male
Mhm.
that y'all should have, and I get it. I know some guys that are what I like to call photo op dads, right? You say, "What's
Mm.
a photo op dad?" Well, I tell
What
you
is
what a
that?
photo op dad is. It's one of those dads who you only see with their kids when there's a photo opportunity, right? So
Oh.
it's like you only see the kid when it's Father's Day because you want to make sure you post that. You only see the
Mhm.
kid on their birthday because you want to make sure you post that. But the rest of the days throughout the year, you never see your kid or you don't put the effort in for your kid. You know, that's the
Mhm.
reason why I think a lot of these ladies who do make those kind of comments, they make those comments because they're angry. Should I be
Mm.
angry too?
Yeah,
But
I
it's
understand.
our day, man. That's all I really want. I just really want the ladies to let us have this one.
Just have this day.
Just
Okay.
move
Well,
on.
I'm going to laud and applaud our fathers out there. Happy Fathers, happy Daddy's Day. And enjoy. I want you guys to do exactly what you want to do, whether it's your favorite meal, go out and get a nice massage, or maybe even have the house to yourself. How about that? Like nobody, no kids, nobody, nobody, nowhere. It's just you, the remote control, TV, and a brewski or something, a drink or a glass of champagne. Let's see. Loretta says fathers matter and are equally as important as mothers. You want?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to end this show tonight. Oh my goodness! Shouts out to our special guest, Miss Tonesa Welch, the First Lady of BMF. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. We're going to have you come back. We are definitely going to have you to come back. Thank you guys for hanging in there with our technical difficulties. But we did get some really good interview questions going with her. And of course, she was just so authentic. She was so herself. If you want to follow her, you can follow her on all of her social media platforms. The ticker is right there. She is First Lady Tonesa. So follow her on Instagram, check her out. And of course, make sure that you stay tuned for the biopic, the Tonesa Welch story, the First Lady of BMF. And of course, please follow me on my social media platforms. It's the DiDi Skky on all of my social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I'm TikToking a little bit, Twitter, and all of that good stuff. Major, tell them how they can stay in touch with you.
I think I'm on all social media platforms as designed by Major. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And let's come hang out, man. Help me get these numbers up.
Yeah,
get these
that's
numbers
right.
up, man.
And of course, before we go, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And this show and all of our other shows are also available for you on streaming services. So that's Spotify, Odyssey, what else? Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all of them, Apple Podcasts. You can find us right there. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us. It was another great show. Shouts out again to Tonesa Welch. Love you, girl. And we will see you again soon. Monique says, I am a strong single mom of a successful young man. Yes, he is. And he's my godson. My day was in May. Let the real dads have their day. Happy Father's Day to the real ones. That's right. Happy Father's Day.
All right, Monique. That's what I'm talking about. We could be friends. We can be friends.
Yes.
Yes, DiDi. Thank you for a great show.
Happy
Go ahead
Father's
and take them out
Day,
of here.
Levi. That's right. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Happy Heavenly Father's Day, Dad. You guys have a great one.